Hey everybody, Big Anklevich here, podcaster, author, and carnivore. It is Monday, September 25th, 2023, and I am here with my update for week 17 of my journey to Wonderland using beef, butter, bacon, and eggs carnivore, and this week we're doing 1 meal a day fasting. All right, let's get into those daily reports here on Big Anklevich on health. Okay, it is Monday and my numbers this morning were horrible. I checked my ketones and they were 0.6. Then I checked my blood sugar and it was 108. And you put that together, that gives me a Dr. Boz ratio of 180. Which is a big difference from yesterday when I had a 42, or the day before when I was in the 20s. It's just not good. So I'm wondering if I'm doing the right thing, doing 1 meal a day. I can't decide if that's the case or not. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to keep with it at least for a couple of days. But if my ketones are still super low, I may, once Wednesday comes, I may switch back to alternate day fasting this week. We'll have to see. Aside from bad numbers, I did go for a walk, and that's always a good thing to do. And then when I did have my meal, I had bacon and eggs. And that's what I had for today. And I'm done eating for the day. I'm just doing 1 meal a day, so I'll eat again tomorrow, and we'll see how things go. It is Tuesday, and my numbers this morning were better. So maybe I don't need to go to alternate day fasting. Maybe I can stick with the 1 meal a day thing. My blood sugar was down to 89. My ketones were up to 1.1, and that gave me a Dr. Boz ratio of 80. Now that's twice what I want it to be, but it's definitely going in the right direction. It's less than half of what it was yesterday. So that's pretty good. I got up and went for a run this morning. Today was a 40-minute run with 8 30-second sprints interspersed in the middle of that. The way I do them is every 5 minutes, my run keeper will go off and tell me what my pace is and all that kind of stuff, how far I've gone. And so I do a sprint every time run keeper goes off. Now, with a 40-minute run, that's only going to get me 7. So I add on to that every time it goes off at the mile mark as well. So a couple of times I'll do it twice in 5 minutes. And that worked pretty well. I was able to keep my pace up really good. I was pretty proud of myself. It was staying up really high. And because of that, I got this thing here, which was my second fastest 2 to 4 mile run. It says I was 4 seconds off the pace for the fastest, which I looked back on it. The fastest 2 to 4 mile run that I did was the time that I went with my daughter. It was on July 4th. We went out running and she dragged me along like a dog on a leash, and that was the only reason that I went that fast. Otherwise, my pace was normally 1.5 minutes slower than that. So this time around, I've really improved and I'm pretty excited. I also got this one which says that this was my fastest 5K, even though I only ran 3 miles, which is 0.1 miles short of a 5K, but I guess this thing doesn't really care. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, it was a good run today. I also wore my new shoes running for the first time. I didn't have any trouble with blisters. So that's good. That was what I was hoping for. I don't know that they've made a huge difference in how my feet feel. My toes still were hurting by the end of the time from the ball of my foot where it bends forward. And that was not cool. But otherwise, it was pretty good. And yeah, when I came home, I had my meal for the day. It's 1 meal a day. So I came home and I had what was left of the leg of lamb, as well as the ground beef that I had left over from last week. I had made 2 big old containers, one of leg of lamb, one of ground beef, and then I just kind of combined them as I ate them. And that was pretty tasty and filling, and I'm feeling great. And we'll move on from there. So we'll talk to you more tomorrow. Hey everybody, back again. It is Wednesday, and my numbers this morning were even better than yesterday. My blood sugar's down a little bit more to 81. My ketones are up a little bit more to 1.8. That gives me a Dr. Boz ratio of 45, which is right in the neighborhood of where it should be. And, you know, that's pretty good. I guess that just goes to show what can happen if you are eating a more clean diet. You know what I mean? Like I was eating pepperoni, and I was eating lunch meat ham, and that stuff has other things in it. It's one of those things that you kind of sometimes need to be careful about. Usually when you're first starting out and you've got a lot of weight to lose, you don't have to be so careful about it. But as time goes by, you got to tighten up control on your diet if you want to keep losing weight. And if you aren't careful, you can start regressing and gaining some weight back. I think basically what I did was, you know, put on a bunch of water weight. You know, I just started retaining water again. And then when I stopped eating that stuff and it flushed back out and it went back to normal, then the water flushed back out with it. So pretty exciting. I'm still eating every day, but I'm still got my ketones going up every day as well, just as much as if I was fasting for 40 hours. So that's cool. I did get up today and go for a walk. After my walk, I had bacon and eggs, my frequent meal. I had that on Monday and again today, and I'll probably have it again on Friday, but I'll come up with something else for tomorrow. I can't eat it every day. If I'm only eating 1 meal a day, I can eat it every day if I'm eating 2 meals a day. But anyways, now I'm just not eating for the rest of the day. So I'm doing 1 meal a day fasting. I don't really consider it fasting because it's such a short period of time for me, but it's because I'm pretty used to fasting. I guess it depends on who you are as to what you consider a fast. Hey everybody, it is Thursday, and my numbers are just keep getting better. This morning, my blood sugar went down a little bit. Now it's 74. And my ketones went up a little bit to 2.1. And you put those together, and that makes a Dr. Boz ratio of 35. I'm now finally back under 40, which is where I would really like to be. It impresses me that I can do that with just a 1 meal a day thing. But I think, you know, it makes a big difference if you're eating, you know, clean stuff. If you're eating sausage, pepperoni, that kind of stuff, you're likely to get a little extra stuff that maybe you don't want. But I've just been eating bacon, eggs, and beef, and a little bit of lamb. And it's really worked out. I felt like I was headed into a crisis at the start of the week, and I have definitely managed to pull out of that crisis. So I'm pretty excited. I was able to pull up from that tailspin dive towards the ground, and I'm not crashing. So that is wonderful. This morning I went for a run. It was 40 minutes at regular pace and 10 minutes at moderate pace. I did all right. I didn't do great. My pace was slow. Part of the problem, and I looked it up today now, and I realized what it is. I was talking about it earlier in the week, I think, or maybe it was last week. I mentioned having pain in the ball of my foot and particularly in the toes. And I looked up what that might be, and I'm pretty sure what I have is called metatarsalgia. Crap, I forgot it. Metatarsalgia. I don't know. Something like that. Dang it. I had it earlier today. Now I've forgotten the full name of it. But basically, it's a thing that comes from, yeah, you're hitting against your metatarsals, which is about where the ball of your foot is, too much, and it's causing pain. It's giving too much stress to it. So we'll have to see what I can do about that. My new shoes haven't helped. I think maybe it would help if they were looser. They did say if your shoes are too tight or too loose, then it can cause that problem. I usually tie my shoes pretty tight, so I'm going to loosen them up a little. I also ordered some foot pad things from Amazon, and hopefully those can help a little. They're supposed to go in and kind of soften each blow of your foot hitting the ground and maybe help that. One of the things that they said is take time off, take a rest, put a lot of ice on it, which I guess I could do that, but I don't want to miss my my marathon. I've taken a week off here and there already, and it's slowing me down in my preparation. Although I did push my marathon back 2 weeks, so maybe I'll be fine. Anyways, later when I got home, I got out a thing of ground beef, and I used the new hamburger press that I have to press it into burger patties, and I went out and put them on the barbecue, and I overcooked them a little bit because I put them on there and then I walked away, and when I came back out, all the grease from them had lit the thing on fire. It was burning like crazy, so I got them off there just in time. They weren't too burned, a little bit of burn spots here and there, but they were pretty tasty. I really enjoyed them. And that was my meal for the day. 2 pounds of beef in burger patty form. And now it's time for the fasting part of the day. I'm fasting, and I'll be keep on doing that throughout the day. So we'll talk more about what I do tomorrow. All right, it is Friday, and my numbers this morning they slipped a little bit. My blood sugar rose a tiny bit to 78. My ketones fell a little to 1.6. And that left my Dr. Boz ratio at a 48, which isn't bad, but it's not where I want it to be. I want it to be under 40, not over 40. So my guess is that those hamburgers that I ate yesterday, I barbecued them on the grill, and a lot of the fat just slipped away down the grill. In fact, it caused a huge fire down in the grill because there was all that fat down in there that was fueling the flames. So I think that might be a little bit. I just didn't get as much fat yesterday as I have been getting for the other days, but there's another day. It's not a big deal. Other than that, I didn't do much. I didn't go for a walk. I decided to rest because of my metatarsalgia, I think it was called. Can't remember, but I'm pretty sure that's it. So I thought I would rest instead of going out for a walk and see if I can let my feet feel a little bit better. And see if those little pads that I ordered can help. We'll see how that goes tomorrow when I do run. I'm going to try it. It's supposed to go 8 miles, so anyways, that is pretty much. Oh wait, no, I did eat. I had bacon and eggs, so that did me in for the day. That's what I had. Bacon, a pound of bacon. This time I had 9 eggs, and just wanted to feel more full. So that was what I did, and that's it for today. It is Saturday, and it has been an interesting day. To start with, I got up and did my numbers. They were 75. My blood sugar was 75. My ketones were at 1.8, which gave me a Dr. Boz ratio of 41, which is pretty much just where it should be. Then I got my shoes on and I went out for my run. I put on these pads. They're like supposed to help with metatarsalgia. that I have, and I figured I'd give it a shot and see how it went. I was supposed to run 8 miles today, which is quite a run. I was a little nervous about that, I'll have to admit, considering how much my feet have been hurting recently. And I hoped that these pads would make a difference. And I ran for about 4.5 miles before the pain got to the point where I had to walk. I had to stop running and walk for a little bit. And walking was a little less intense, and so the pain kind of subsided. Then I thought, okay, I think I'm good enough that I can run for a while. And so I ran again, maybe about a mile. And then it got bad again, and I had to stop and walk again. And at that point, I was at 5.2 miles, something like that. And I was walking, and I was thinking, okay, I gotta at least get to 6 before I can quit. So about 10 minutes, before I knew I was getting close to the end, I figured, okay, let me see if I can run the rest of the 6 miles. And I ran, and about 0.15 miles short of my my target, my feet started to really hurt. It was just jabbing, that pain going into my toes and stuff. And I had to really push through to get to the 6 miles, but I did make it to 6 miles. And that was where I called it. I could not go any further, and I just walked the rest of the way until I got home. And it was pretty rough. I've decided I'm going to take a week off of running. They do say that rest is supposed to help a lot for this kind of a thing, rest and ice. So maybe I'll do some icing of my feet as well. All I know is that my legs are so tired today. I can't bring myself to do anything. I just want to sit here. My wife went and did all the grocery shopping and stuff by herself while I just laid around the house. I did even take a nap, which was nice, but could have been better if I'd managed to stay asleep a little better. I did get this little thing saying that it was my 3rd fastest 5 to 7 mile run, which means nothing because I think I've only done 3 and it was not a good time. So I don't know why I bothered to even do a screen capture on this little thing. But I did have, I had actually 2 meals today. I didn't do 1 meal a day today. I figured that it's time to start getting ready for intermittent fasting, for alternate day fasting next week. So I'll start doing my regular weekend where I do 2 meals a day on the weekend. So I had, when I got back from my run, I cooked up 8 of the hamburgers that I made out of ground beef, I think 2 days ago. Was that Thursday? Or maybe longer ago. Maybe it was Tuesday, I can't remember. But a couple of days ago, I had hamburgers, and I froze some of them, and I pulled those out, and I cooked them up, and I had 8 of those, and they were good. And then, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours later, I thought, okay, well, I feel like having more food. I don't know if I really needed it. I felt like it, but I don't know that I was hungry because I cooked up bacon and eggs, and then when I went to eat it, I had a hard time even finishing it all. So, I mean, I did finish it all, but maybe I didn't need to bother eating that. So, I don't know if that was worthwhile, but I had bacon and eggs as well. And then that was it. That was my day. I spent most of the time resting. And I guess my videos will be a little shorter from here on out because I won't have to regale you of how far I ran and stuff like that. So I guess you got that to look forward to. Okay, it is Sunday, and as you might expect, because I ate 2 times yesterday, my numbers were not particularly great. My blood sugar was all the way up at 102, and my ketones were down to 1.2, which gave me a Dr. Boz ratio of a crappy 85. So, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have eaten 2 times, but planning on fasting tomorrow, so maybe that'll make up for eating no times. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Today I also ate 2 times, so there was that. You could say I ate more than that. I don't know. I didn't go running or walking or anything like that. I'm going to take a whole week resting and see if that helps. I did notice that my sciatica is starting to ache a little bit today, which is not good. Hopefully it doesn't get any worse, because last year I had to get so bad where I couldn't do anything, man. It was miserable. I suspect it won't do that. I know a lot of people have fixed, like gotten rid of sciatica problems by way of doing carnivore, so I'm hoping that that will be the case. But you know, if you got issues and then you overdo it, which is, I guess, kind of what I've been doing, could cause problems. But anyways, this morning I had bacon and eggs for my first meal. But along with that, we had a little tiny bit of leftover roast from last Sunday in the fridge. And my wife's been saying, you should eat that. And I keep going, I'll eat bacon and eggs. And so this time around, I figured I'll eat that because it was such a small amount. So I warmed it up and I ate the roast. And then after eating the roast, I also had bacon and eggs. And that was good. Nice meal. And then the next meal that I had was later on. It was actually pretty late. My wife was making a pork roast, and I decided that I would eat with the family. But because it was so late that it came around, I was getting a little antsy. And I had the same issue last Sunday where I was just like, I feel like I want to eat something. And so I went to the fridge and I started eating lunch meat slices again. We had turkey slices, which I don't even like. It did have pepper on it though, which is another thing that that I generally don't eat, but it was peppered turkey. But I was eating a bunch of slices, and finally I said, you know what, I gotta stop this before it gets any worse. And so I took the last 4 hamburgers that I had made out of the chub of ground beef, and I took them out and I barbecued them real fast. And then I came in and I ate those 4 hamburgers. And I figured I'll eat what I can of the roast afterwards. And when roast finally was ready, I was a little less hungry, so I wasn't frantically eating things out of the fridge, and I had this pork roast. It was pretty good. It also had stuff on it, like the turkey had pepper. My wife says that I think she put like orange juice on this as part of the marinade for this. So maybe that was a mistake as well. I don't know. Maybe I just need to stop eating with the family on Sundays. But I don't want to do that. I want to eat with my family. Or maybe I just have to eat something else than what they eat. Even though they're eating meat, it seems weird that I should just not eat the meat. I don't know. We'll have to decide what to do with that. But I suspect my numbers are going to be even worse tomorrow. I don't know. Well, last week I freaked out and I was thinking, oh, I'm in a mini, I'm at the start of a crisis. And then I just, went back to my routine, not even my regular routine, but a 1 meal a day routine, and I was fine. And everything went back to the way it should be. So maybe that's just what'll happen this week too. I'm going to go back to my real regular routine, which is an alternate day fasting, starting tomorrow. So that should drastically reduce my Dr. Boz ratio back down to where it should be, hopefully. So we'll see how it goes. I guess you can tune in next week to find out about that. But for now, we'll send you over to Big Anklovich to tell you about how this week went. Okay, there you go. It was an interesting week. Started off the week thinking that I was on the verge of a crisis, and I was afraid to just do 1 meal a day fasting. That seemed like a bad idea. Like it wasn't going to be enough, but it turned out to be totally enough. And I was fine the whole week through. And then by the time the weekend came around, I feel like I'm on the verge again of another crisis, but I think I'll be fine again. About to start into alternate day fasting, which is generally even a little more potent. So I think we'll be all right. How did this week go? Well, I started off the week at an even 249 pounds, and by the end of the week, I dropped all the way down to 248.4. So yeah, I didn't do a lot of losing weight this week. I only lost 0.6 pounds on the week. And that brings my running total to 41.4 pounds, which at least that number sounds good. But yeah, after several weeks in a row of pretty good weight dropping, I don't know, it's kind of a bummer to have a week where it doesn't happen, but you know, it's expected. Those kind of things happen, and you gotta take the good with the bad. It's not a straight line down when you're trying to get onto your health. You know, you have peaks and valleys, and can be tough, but you got to keep your spirits up and keep plunging ahead. You know what's right, you know what works, and just keep after it. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'll be working at that. So that's what I'll be doing for the rest of the week. It'll be alternate day fasting, and I will be seeing if I can bring that number down a little bit more. You know, in the end, what is it that matters? Is it that number? Does it matter if I, you know, hit a certain number every week in weight? No, it does not, because weight is not what we're here for. This is not Big Anklovich on weight, it's Big Anklovich on health, and I'm trying to improve my health. And so if the number on the scale doesn't change, but my health is staying the way it should, which I believe it is, then I'm doing just fine. This week will be a little interesting because I'm not going to be doing any running. I'm going to take the whole week off, just resting and recuperating. So what will that do? I don't know. Does my exercise make much of a difference? I suspect that it actually hinders my weight loss. If I really want to lose weight, probably best to not do any running, or at least long distance running. The stuff that I'm having issues with, it's caused by, you know, this long distance running. You know, marathon running and that kind of stuff is well known for causing problems that stem from wear, from overuse. You know, your joints and your bones and all that kind of stuff can only take so much. And I knew that that was something going into it. That's why I basically, you know, I think that sprinting is much more the thing that I should be doing to get myself in better shape. But it was just, you know, the thing that I wanted to accomplish in my life. Run a marathon one time. That's all I want. It's just one time. Once I get to that marathon, I would be done. And I would not be doing long distance running again, starting the very next day. So we'll see what happens. We'll do some rest. We'll see if I get some improvement and I can keep going with this. Hopefully I can manage to finish and get to the race before I got to give up. I want to make it to that. But most important, again, is my health. So if my health won't hold up, maybe I push the marathon run off into the future, or just give up on it altogether. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But we're going to take some time off and see how it goes. And you know, from there, we'll go forward and see the way things will be. I'm excited about how things are going. This week was a slow week, but I think next week will be good. And I'm sure I'll have plenty more challenges and interesting things ahead to talk with y'all about and to deal with. So we'll be back again next week with another update. And I'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching Big Anklovich. on health.